EU leaders in Kiev for summit amid air raid sirens. Germany moves to export tanks. European Union leaders are in the Ukrainian capital for a summit that they cast as an act of solidarity and a message to Moscow. Air raid sirens were heard in Kiev early Friday ahead of the meeting, which European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen described as proof that the EU stands by Ukraine as firmly as ever. Still, the delegation of EU officials is unlikely to offer Kiev solid promises to meet Ukrainian requests to join the 27-nation bloc. Key developments. The EU will deepen further our support and cooperation, von der Leyen said after her arrival in Kiev. The wartime summit is expected to yield more aid for Ukraine, while dampening hopes for fighter jets or fast-track EU accession. In his nightly address, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said his country deserves to reach the beginning of negotiations on EU membership this year. A center for the prosecution of the crime of aggression in Ukraine will be established in The Hague, von der Leyen also said. The international body will work closely with the joint investigation teams supported by the EU Agency for Criminal Justice Cooperation, she told a news conference Thursday with Zelensky. The crime of aggression is notoriously difficult to prosecute. Germany has issued an export license for Leopard 1 tanks to Ukraine, German government spokesman Stefan Hebestreit said Friday, without providing further details. Last week, Germany announced plans to send 14 of its more modern Leopard 2 tanks and allow European countries to send theirs, as Washington pledged to give Ukraine 31 M1 Abrams tanks. The Leopard 2 is bigger, faster and more powerful than the Leopard 1, which was produced between 1965 and 1979. Ukraine's prosecutor general is pressing criminal charges against the head of the Wagner Group, Yevgeny Prigozhin, whose private military forces are fighting alongside the Russian army. The statement said prosecutors interrogated 2 Wagner fighters in Europe. Last month, the United States designated the group as transnational criminal organization. Here's what you need to know about the Wagner Group and what it's doing in Ukraine. Battlefield updates. Russia will use the fuller potential it has to respond to a new influx of Western weapons to Ukraine, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said Friday. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said earlier that the longer the range of weapons supplied to the Kiev regime, the further we will have to drive them away. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak said Ukrainian pilots would need months if not years of training if Western fighter jets were sent to Ukraine. We need to make sure that they can use what they are given, he said Thursday in a British television interview. Global impact. Norway will give Ukraine more aid after earning higher profits from oil exports, Norwegian Prime Minister Jonas Gahr Støre told lawmakers Thursday, without specifying the size of the package. Norway has benefited from increased demand for energy supplies from European countries that have sought to reduce their reliance on Russian gas. Poland expects more than 30 countries to oppose the participation of Russian and Belarusian athletes in the 2024 Olympics, its sports and tourism minister told Reuters. From our correspondents. A new wave of Western weapons explained. From tanks to air defense systems, U.S. and European-made weapons are expected to complement or replace largely Soviet-era technology in use by Ukrainian forces. The new surge of increasingly elaborate weapons from Western countries could change the balance on the battlefield in Ukraine as Kiev's major backers agree to successive requests that once made them. Balt. Take a closer look at the tanks the United States and European allies are sending to Ukraine.